Quick but urgent disclaimer, this video is not for children. It contains inappropriate content such as swearing and other things. You have been warned. When Super Mario Maker launched on the Wii U in 2015, it immediately became a global sensation for the 6 people who owned a Wii U. I mean, the concept alone was so cool. You had the power to create 2D Mario levels. You! And since making my own Mario levels has been my dream ever since I first came out of the pussy, I played the fuck out of it. So much so, in fact, that my copy of the game had a puncture wound for some reason. I still don't even know how this happened. Did someone shoot it? Did I drop it in a spike trap? We'll never know. Because the concept of Mario Maker was so brilliant and helped kids like me become interested in game design, only to find out years later that game design required a fuck of a lot more effort than making a Mario Maker level and give up, making a completely new Mario Maker game for the Switch, which was performing way better than the Wii U, only made sense. And thus, when Super Mario Maker 2 released on the Switch, it went on to be awesome and sell more than twice as much as the original game. June 28th, 2019 ended up being a fantastic day for Mario fans such as myself, just like September 11th, 2015, when the first Mario Maker hit the Wii U. Man, September 11th is so nostalgic for—
Dude, what?
You probably shouldn't say that.
Why?
I just did some research. Apparently 9/11 happened on September 11th.
Oh fuck, people died during that. Okay, yeah, I take that one back. 9 and 11 are both numbers, and you know what else are numbers? 2 and 5, which brings me to my next point. Super Mario Maker 2 is now 5 years old. What even is this video anymore? Super Mario Maker 2 is now 5 years old. 5. And I know I said this in my years later videos on Mario Odyssey and Smash Ultimate, but I genuinely cannot believe that this game is 5 years old. Like, 2019 was not 5 years ago. You're making this up. The main question that I'm trying to get to here is this. Super Mario Maker 2 came out half a decade ago, and upon release, it was highly regarded by countless people, including myself. But does it still hold up today, 5 years later? Let's find out. Before I get into the actual video though, first of all, feel free to check out the 2 previous videos I made in this series, which are about Mario Odyssey and Smash Ultimate respectively. And second of all, please consider subscribing, sharing, liking, and all of that stuff, especially subscribing if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Also, feel free to share your Mario Maker level codes down in the comments below. But without any further ado, here's Super Mario Maker 2! 5 years later.
In case you haven't seen a video from this little series I'm doing before, let me explain how it'll work. It'll be split into a few sections. First, I'll talk about the gameplay, then the visuals, then the music, then the pros and cons not related to what I discussed in the previous sections, and finally, I'll deliver a definitive review score and determine whether or not Super Mario Maker 2 has aged well after 5 years. But first, the game. The gameplay in Mario Maker 2 is a little tough to talk about because half of the gameplay in the game is, well, making a game, and the enjoyment that comes out of playing levels really depends on the quality of the levels themselves, rather than the controls and whatnot. I'll start out with the level making side of things because that's arguably the main aspect of the game. Well, actually, not arguably, it's called Mario Maker. Whatever. It's great. It's simple and easy to use, meaning that a 7-year-old can have fun making a level, but also complex and in-depth enough so that a 17-year-old can enjoy making one. Presumably. I'm only 7, so I would not know. Making a level doesn't require any pain-in-the-ass coding, it's just fun. You just place whatever you want in the level wherever you want in the level, and you can spend as much or as little time as you want on it, so the complexity of your creation really depends on your commitment to it. Now, you may be asking, isn't this just the same thing as Mario Maker 1? Well, no, and I was getting to that, you impatient fuck. Just kidding. Mario Maker 2 adds a plethora of new creation tools to the mix, with the most notable addition being the ability to create worlds in the Super Mario 3D World style, on top of the pre-existing Super Mario Bros. 1, 3U, and Mario World styles. This makes for a lot of interesting changes to the level creation process. So much so, in fact, that the game resets the entire level if you switch to that style. The 3D World style allows you to create levels with clear pipes, crates, warp boxes, Koopa cars, the Cat Mario power-up, and so much more. But Bizaster, given how it's in the Super Mario 3D World style, doesn't that mean you can create 3D levels? Well, I'm glad you asked. No. I'll get into the idea of a 3D Mario Maker game at some other time, so subscribe if you want to see a video about that, but yeah, despite, this level style being based off of a 3D game, you can only create 2D levels in it. It's not too disappointing, to me at least, but Nintendo being like, hey, yeah, you can make 3D world levels now when it's not even in fucking 3D is kind of funny. I feel like they could have just been like, hey, we're adding shit from 3D World into the game, have fun with it, but they wanted an excuse to include a new level making system so the game would sell better. But on top of the addition of this new level style, we got clear conditions, co-op, making custom scroll and parachutes, red Yoshi's icicles, diagonal conveyor belts, on-off switches, angry sun, swinging claws and snake, blocks, moon, levels, night, levels, the ability to create slopes. A feature that wasn't in the first game for some reason. Look, the point is, there's a lot of new shit in Mario Maker 2 that makes creating levels more fun than it was in the first game, and I haven't even talked about every new addition. My personal favorite additions were the ability to create slopes because, duh, on-off switches because they allow for some really cool puzzles, more on that later, clear conditions because they add more variation to how you finish a level and allow for more creativity for themed levels, my personal favorite ones to make, moon and night levels for the same reason, and Koopa cars, even though they break if you do literally fucking anything. But as Super Mario Maker 2 giveth, it also taketh. Yes, all the new shit is nice, but does it make up for the loss of some of the features in the first game? No. Not in my opinion, at least. First of all, they got rid of Weird Mario. Why? That shit was so funny. But more importantly, they got rid of the fucking amiibo costumes. This, in my opinion, was the worst change between the first and second game. For those who don't remember or didn't play the first game, basically, it had a power-up called the Mystery Mushroom, which would allow you to scan an amiibo and let you turn into that character. It was so fucking cool. You could play as Samus from Metroid, Lucas and Ness from Mother, Shulk from Xenoblade, a Wii balance board for some reason, Mario in a car, which I should mention works way better than the fucking Koopa car. The list goes on and on. I'm not even kidding. By the time every update was released, there were over 150 costumes in Mario Maker. So how many are in Mario Maker 2? Oh, none? Yeah, okay. Mario Maker 2 lets you play as Luigi, Toad, Toadette, and later Link in an update, and of course, Mario. That's it though. 150 plus costumes just down the fucking drain. I'd honestly chalk up the absence of amiibo costumes to Nintendo forgetting that amiibos are things that they made that exist, but you cannot tell me that there wasn't at least one person on the dev team that went, hey guys, remember that massive aspect of the last game? What if we tried to include that? They wouldn't have even had to use amiibo functionality, they could have just made it DLC or something. They love doing that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for what they took away, aside from some small aspects of the last game. It doesn't really affect me anymore because I sold all my amiibos a while back, but as someone who loves making themed levels, it's a pretty big fucking setback. Oh yeah, they also took away the ability to record your own sound effects, but that one's more understandable because the Switch doesn't have a microphone like the Wii U. They did add new sound effects though, so don't worry, you can still make your courses Johnny Test levels of ADHD. Yeah, I just realized I haven't talked about uploading and playing courses yet. You know, the huge aspects of the game that I was too busy shitting and farting over amiibo costumes to rant about. Let's talk about that. When you upload a Mario Maker 2 course, it has to meet only one requirement, being completable. This allows for so many possibilities in the level creation area, and as a result, so many types of levels for you to play online. A new addition to Mario Maker 2 is the ability to search for courses via tags. Want to play a speedrun level? You can search specifically for that. A music level? You can search specifically for that. An auto-scroll level? You get the idea. Unfortunately, Nintendo has not yet added the courses that you can only finish if you hit a hidden block and level that your friend's little brother made by randomly placing 600 Goombas in the sky tags, but on the bright side, scrolling through the new level section for a few seconds will usually get you at least 7 of those. It is really easy to find great levels in Mario Maker 2. You can do a detailed search or search for new courses, like I said earlier, but you can also search for both popular and hot courses. Do not ask me the difference between them because I do not know. And when you find a level you like, you can leave a like on it and comment, follow the creator of it, and even if you forget to like it, you can find it in the played courses section. Alternatively, you could also dislike or boo it, It's pretty much the same concept as YouTube, but with Mario Maker. There's pretty much something for everyone in Mario Maker 2. You can make courses, play courses, or even play the story mode, which I would absolutely recommend because although I don't remember much of it, I do remember it being fun. The bottom line is, every single mode in this game is Yeah guys, we kinda need to talk about the online multiplayer mode. Mario Maker 2 has been out for 5 years and has, for the most part, aged pretty damn gracefully. It has also, however, had the shittiest fucking online mode for 5 years. I'm like, so serious, this shit makes Smash Ultimate's online mode seem stable. Like I said in the Smash Ultimate video, I really don't play games online that much anymore. In fact, to talk about the online functionality in this game, I had to get a free trial for Switch Online because I haven't had it for like 2 years. Basically, what I'm saying here is that the online mode in this game sucking doesn't really affect my opinion of it too much. But from an objective stance, it abso-fucking-lutely makes the game worse. Smash Ultimate's online mode may be very flawed, but at the very least it's usually functional. Mario Maker 2, on the other hand, it is practically impossible, from my experience at least, to play a full level. Constant bugs, lagging, and of course crashing make what should be a fun experience very much not one. And forget trying to play with 3 other players on a level that has like 4 or more items, because that's like putting your Switch in a microwave. But despite a lack of some great old features and the huge performance issues found in the online mode of the game, Super Mario Maker 2 is a great, accessible, and better game than the first game, even today. There was even an update that introduced the ability to make worlds filled with your levels, which is absolutely sick, and admittedly too daunting for me to try out. To end off this overly long section that you probably forgot was just a section of this video, I just want to point out that I've shared the codes for some of my favorite levels in the description of this video, and please play them if you have the game / have time to, because those courses took some talent, as well as my own maker code if you want to play some courses made by someone who is significantly less talented. Speaking of which, stick around for a surprise at the end of the video. But for now, let's move on to the video. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't have anywhere near as much to say about the visuals and music here as I did about Mario Odyssey and Smash Ultimate, so I'm combining them into one section. To get the shit I don't have much to say about out of the way, the UI and presentation are nice, but aside from that, the graphics are all in the style of other Mario games, all of which look good. Most of the music and sound effects also originate from other Mario games, and once again, they all sound good. As for the original tracks like the main theme, Koji Kondo was the lead composer for the game. They all sound good, okay? What I really wanted to talk about here were the original sound and visual effects that you see and hear when you're creating a level. Every single block you place, every enemy, every power-up comes with a weird voice stating which item you've placed. Clicking the undo button makes this little dog bark, restarting the course is represented through a rocket taking off, and of course the actual sound effects. Everything is so creative and weird, and I love it. It keeps the level creation process really entertaining. Oh yeah, and there's also
that fucking bird that I hate.
Pros and cons time, baby. Like I said earlier, Mario Maker 2 is easily accessible and literally allows for endless fun. With so many great levels, there's so much entertainment to be found, and so much inspiration for your own levels to be discovered as well. You can come back to it at pretty much any time, and how much you enjoy it pretty much boils down to how much time you're willing to spend on it. Oh, and I can't believe I forgot to mention this earlier, but, and this won't be a surprise to my longtime subscribers, I loved the customization and the maker profile in story mode. Look at my character, he's so cute! This game even improves on the whole maker profile thing. It's a more than worthy successor to the first game, even if it had its downgrades. The only con I haven't discussed is the shitty quality and mistagging of some levels, but that's not really Nintendo's fault, so I can't really hold it against the game anyways.
And now, with all of that said, it's time to deliver a final review score and answer the question I posed at the beginning of this video. Back when it first launched, I probably would have given Super Mario Maker 2 an 8 out of 10, and today I still stand by that rating. It's a great game, and a very, very enjoyable and accessible one that's an improvement over the first game. But because of the issues that I talked about earlier, from its heavily flawed online play to its lack of amiibo costumes and stuff like that, it's held back from being very, very much a better game, and a perfect Mario Maker game. As for whether it still holds up or not 5 years later, Yeah, I'd say it does. I mean, all the things that were great about it 5 years ago are still great today, and players are still sharing some great levels. It appeals to both casual and experienced players alike, and it's just a great time. But there's definitely room for a better third entry, especially since a lot of the stuff that we hated on launch day is still very hateable. And with the Switch's time in the spotlight apparently coming to an end soon, there's a very big possibility that we will get a perfect Mario Maker game. Who knows? I mean, no such thing as perfection or whatever, but like, come on, Nintendo. Now, to reveal the surprise that I teased earlier, as a thank you present for making it to the end of this video, I've created a special level that you can access with the level code in the description and the pinned comment. I put a lot of effort into it, just like I did with this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. Because yes, surprise, this video took a shit ton of effort, and I would really appreciate it if you would consider liking, subscribing, sharing, and all of that good stuff, and of course, comment your levels down below if you want to. I hope to see you all in the next one, but until then, bye!